on screen here. Maybe trying to put some pressure on early, you know, like force Sp4ghet to make some quick guesses. That can throw him off, because as you can see here, 40-second average. He likes to run this clock all the way down to the end, but as you can see here too, for Flyme, similar playstyle in taking his time too.
Yeah, you've mentioned it. They are definitely some slow-paced players. I mean, usually I want to say that's more of a thing that newer players have, the slow-paced gameplay, but then we have MK, who also isn't too long in the game, and he just slams it down. But the stats also look alike. Sp4ghet slightly high on the win rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've mentioned it already. We have some type of matchups where both players are very equal in skill and playstyle.
But that's the thing, I mean, look at this. Flyme is set all the way down to the bottom right now, right? But remember, if you 2-0 your opponent, that is 3 points gone your way. And look at, I mean, just look at 30 through 21. That's 4 points. Yeah. That is just 4 points between all of them. Look, one row further to the left, 20th all the way up to 11th. That's 5 points. Get a little bit of a win streak going, a couple of points gone your way, and just like that, you're in the top 15.
It's really a head-on-head in a lot of sections on this leaderboard.
But you know what? Let's get straight into it. Let's get into game number 1. We are playing moving, but see, I was going to say, it seems like none of them really want to move, but finally the cars start going.
I mean, sometimes it does make sense to look around your environment at spawn first to get a vibe and then move. Because if you start moving right away and do that all the way through the round, you really don't get the time to really get a vibe guess down. So you put yourself more pressure if there's like a little time left after you move. So sometimes it does make sense, and there's often also good info on spawn, which people tend to miss because they just start moving around.
I always said it coming into it that it was going to be a game where players took their time. Seems like they're going to let it run all the way down here as well. Rugby Road. Now, if that's going to be the most generic Australian name for a road ever. Let's call it Kangaroo Lane, you know? It's but 1,000 damage done.
No fitting.
Yeah, I mean, 1,000 damage done to Flyme here. Still early days, of course, but when you get 1,000 damage through in round 1, that can be pretty telling.
Exactly, and we are moving over to this Mexico round, I want to say, with that octagonal pole. I've been talking about poles a lot today, but
you know what? I like it.
They are helpful in a lot of cases. And I feel like it's saying something useful on that. I can't make it out.
Talking about poles all day, but no shoutouts to Shrefan. That's kind of toxic. GeoGuessr. For the people that got that joke, you probably think I'm a boomer. And I am. So you know what? I take those all day, every day. Now, where in Mexico are we on this one?
I slowly also count as one Toby, so no worries on that.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
As I said, there was some information. I couldn't read it too well, so I don't know if it had information you needed, but it doesn't seem like it because we have Sp4ghet just being in the capital city, Mexico City, and Flyme going all the way down to Chiapas.
When in doubt, go Mexico City. Sp4ghet did, and he comes out victorious. Round 2, but big damage done once again. Chiapas, I mean, I don't know what sent Flyme down there, but that's a big loss. We're only into round 3, and he's under half health.
Yeah, that's something people like to meme. Players say you're always good off just guessing CDMX, but in most cases, it actually is just the move. There's no point in trying something special, especially in Mexico, where it's very hard to.
Is there extra blurry car meta to this specific car, region-wise?
Extra blurry? No, I wouldn't say.
I just feel like the blur sphere is bigger. You know what I mean? Like more of the screen is cut off.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of different car clues in India, where it's just too much to learn.
Fair enough.
Because that's like basically like learning just every city, or learning how every city looks like. It sounds reasonable in the head.
Isn't that what you try to do, Chilo? Just know everywhere and you win?
If you want to do that in India. There are countries where you can do it, but India is one of them. India is something where you learn poles, where you learn architecture, languages. Those already give you the right region most of the time.
Well, it's a far southern one, and finally Flyme able to strike back, the Argentine player. able to hit home on this one. Even though they were both quite a bit off. I mean, had he gone further south, there could have been much more points taken off of Sp4ghet's health bar, but this time, not the case.
Nope, not at all. And we are, seems to be Kazakhstan with this Google car. And Cyrillic on the billboard. I want to say a very learnable country, Kazakhstan.
It's limited in coverage, right? I mean,
yes.
I know it got more. Did it get more recently?
No.
More coverage?
Really.
I don't know.
It
So
got
it's only...
released, and ever since then it stayed the same. And Kazakhstan is also like a country, as you said. You have a couple main roads going through the country, and then just a bunch of cities. So now I want to say this is a country where you can learn every city, because there's
only
good
a few
city-specific clues as well. You have street signs that are exclusive to some cities. You have pole paintings that are exclusive to some cities. Some car meta, some seasonal meta, of course, again.
Fair.
So, a lot to learn.
They're both to the east. They pick each their city, but they're both in the wrong one, unfortunately. It's going to be, once again, damage done to Sp4ghet. So, as big of a lead that he was able to gain off of the first 2 rounds, in back-to-back rounds, Flyme strikes back, and now they're even once more.
Yeah, kind of reminds me to just the previous round, where you only have to get slightly closer, not on it, but if you do it often enough.
And it's a big country.
Down on health. And we are in the United Kingdom here. However, I mean, it's a country where I would definitely move as quick as possible out of the residential area.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of signage as soon as you leave a town or leave this residential area. You usually have signs towards a highway.
Also, and this is going to sound rude maybe to British people, but I feel like a lot of their city names are like the pubs and all the signs you would see in the city center. All the names of all the places are so generic. Blackwood Inn, Great Lion Bar. You know, like it's all the same names, and you can't really get a whole lot of region info off of that.
Yeah, that also makes it kind of hard to learn city names in the UK, I feel like. Because it all sounds so generic. Yeah.
Ooh, well, they say it's generic, but someone knows their Beatles meta. Up to Liverpool he goes, and Flyme, 3rd round in a row, strikes home.
Yeah, not a good thing to use. In the UK are trash bins. They usually say the council on it. I don't know if Flyme saw something like that. I didn't see it on his screen, but I would assume so.
What do we have on the poll here that Sp4ghet is looking at?
In Brazil, some polls, I mean a lot of polls, we are talking about polls again, contain good info in Brazil as well. In this case, I don't think it had the right writings you want to see, but we have a guess down from Sp4ghet, so I don't know if there was some information he used based on that. But there are the same exact region.
Yeah, on top of one another. City just a bit off towards the north. We are headed into round... I mean, this is round 6, I should say, headed into round 7. So, of course, the multiplier is going to keep on ramping up. As once again, we are close. But Flyme able to maintain that 1,200 point lead thus far.
Yeah, it wasn't that easy for Flyme on that round, because I saw his pin switching all over the place down there in the south. And you are correct. We are back in India. We have this... what's called a boxed car. It looks like a box. And this car you see more in the western half of the country and more around big cities. Because this type of coverage came out early. India is a country where you only had a bunch of cities covered to start off with. But nowadays you have coverage all over the place. However, the coverage that came later on didn't have this boxed car too often. So you can use that to, sort of make a region guess. So you click either in the west or around the big city.
Between them. 4 times multiplier. This should be game if they stay with the distances that they have right now, unless if the location is right in between, and it's not. It's further north. Flyme comes out victorious, and that is going to be game number 1 going his way. Sp4ghet got off to such a good start in the first 2 rounds. Over 3,000 damage done to Flyme within the first 2 rounds, and still Flyme was able to strike back. Great game there for the Argentinian player.
Yeah, and I must say, this game didn't really feel like a moving game. Because most of the time it came down to just get a better region guess down rather than use the information right.
True.
So definitely a different vibe to this game.
Yeah, definitely. These games can throw you in all different types of locations. These ones were some tricky ones for sure. We'll now go over to the actual no-move game as Flyme is up 1-0. Let's see where this one is going to take us off to.
Exactly, no move this time. And we start off in...
How do you country guess this?
Well, again, you have the Google car, which is pretty helpful. You see the front blur.
The blur blue.
Front blur. That's something you see more in the Americas.
Fair enough. Well, it means
So,
Sp4ghet was instantly there with the guess. For a player that likes to take a ton of time to guess, when he insta-guesses, you know he knows something is up. And, I mean, we can repeat the last game. Massive damage done to Flyme early on once more.
Correct. And speaking of car matters, we see that instant zoom on the antenna here.
Is there anything to go? It looks like a very generic antenna. Is there any specific info on this antenna?
Yes, you can count the amount of wires on them. You can. There's, yeah. Russia is a lot.
I mean, of course you can. That's wild.
Antenna matter. But then again, the clusters are a bit spread most of the times across the country, so you kind of have to commit. However, it is very mountainous here, so I would say this looks more towards either the south, where Sp4ghet is right now, or you have the Ural Mountains. It can also sort of look like this.
We actually line up road savior Sp4ghet. I mean, he has the time to. 10 seconds still on the clock. Flyme. Not in the exact same area.
Are we actually in Russia, though? Because we have Flyme in Ukraine.
Yep, they are very far apart. Once again, it's going to be big damage early on, and Flyme is correct. Wow.
That's a good chunk of points for round 2.
Massive. And again, it's Flyme. I mean, there's no chance for Sp4ghet to get any momentum gone his way, because right after a big hit on him, he strikes back twice as hard.
It looks like we are back in the Americas here. Have a McDonald's. We have some diamond-shaped signs.
America guaranteed. It's the McDonald's that gives it away.
True.
Not the highway signs, not the double yellow lines, just the McDonald's.
Nope. Exactly. And I want to say this. A couple of things make me think a bit more south of the country, and a couple of stuff more north. So maybe we are somewhere in the middle.
Ooh. Okay.
So
Idaho.
that's also where they are with their with the map open. So I could see Idaho. Does make sense to me. I don't think we are further north of that though. So
well, let's see. They're both out towards the west, up towards the north. Who's gonna get it? They're both in the same state. So are they going to be correct in their hunches? No, actually, no, they're not. It's in Wyoming, so they're both gonna be off. But off by an even margin. Still, though, 800 damage done to Sp4ghet, who's down to just 1,000 health now. Flyme, I mean, we saw it before, is all the way down the bottom of the leaderboard. If he can get 3 points off of this game, that would be big.
Indeed, indeed. And they were both just one state over there. Pretty good guesses in general. And we move on to this round. Kind of an interesting one, because I have mixed feelings.
Tell me, enlighten me. I'm going to France.
Why do we have palm trees? Yeah, but my first thought was New Zealand. We have a possum guard on the pole.
Yeah.
And palm trees and I don't know if these are poplar trees, but they kind of look like it. So those are all things you see in New Zealand, but
I feel like that palm is so misplaced in this foliage.
It looks out of place there.
I mean, honestly, had the pole not been here, I could have gone to France in a weird way. But
Argentina, I don't think this is ever Argentina.
New Zealand to Argentina, this is going to be game, no matter how we spin it. Let's see what it's going to be. It is going to be New Zealand as Sp4ghet. Oh, you can see it on the head of Flyme. That was a big big giveaway on that one. I don't know what sent him down there. Neighboring countries where he went to. But wow. He was looking flawless through that no-move round. And Sp4ghet, you can see it on his face too. A sigh of relief as he takes it into an NPC.
Yeah, very important one there. I don't know what Flyme's thought process was there.
I mean, I feel like someone just went into foliage mode in New Zealand and pressed randomize. Because we had, like, northern bushes, we had pines, we had palms, we had everything.
Yeah, definitely. Also, yeah, I mean, I can see it. He switched to Chile, though, which I think makes a bit more sense, but it was a bit too flat, I feel like.
An NPC, both looking towards... Flyme, don't go Denmark in this. Thank you. Norway. There's no... We don't have... If you see a cliff, it is not Denmark. Like, unless if you're in Bornholm, but then that's also just bad RNG, which is the island southeast of Sweden. Like, cliffs don't exist in Denmark.
Nope. Not like this, and especially also that license plate. It's a commercial license plate. Color you only see in Norway, really. So,
well, Narvik, Sp4ghet looking to go potentially further north. Should he have? Nope. Good thing that he stayed in and around Trondheim. It's still going to be a losing round, but much less than what it could have been.
Yeah, both pretty good guesses, I must say. Because it wasn't the easiest location to start off. In Norway, so I guess they are both happy to have that in round one.
Oh, you just exactly... I feel like there's an address on the blue sign there if you can look further left. But, of course, an NPC doesn't allow you to do that. It's just this image. Because Sp4ghet he's trying to line up something that, like, mentally is trying to do the math on something right now. Do you get the edge of the city name? No.
Tikas. It ended with Tikas, but I don't know any city ending with Tikas.
Yeah.
So I guess it was just something else.
Flyme went for the safe, just go capital, send it when in doubt, you know? But at least they had the country right, both of them, so again, minimal damage done.
Yep, that's the most important part, especially in NPC games. Getting the country right is always a good thing.
Unless if it's Russia, then you need the region too.
Definitely. They're like,
what are we looking at here?
Maybe 4 or 5 countries that are big enough where that matters, but we have those wooden fences here, which you see in the Americas, especially in like Mexico, Panama, Colombia, Brazil also a bit.
I would not go Venezuela.
Nope, that's also something I wouldn't do. The building looks a bit more Mexican, I want to say.
Okay. What tells you? Is it just a vibe, like a hunch, or what tells you more Mexican?
The way it's built, the way it has. It's really just maybe the brick type makes me think more Mexico than Colombia, but I'm not sure at all.
Colombian masons don't do bricks this way. Let's see if it's going to be the case or not. They're both down there, but you were the one on point. It was up towards Mexico.
I mean, I can totally understand their guesses as well.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't sure at all. It was
a 50-50
that I picked correct, but I can also see myself going Colombia there.
A hunch, but a big hunch. As we now go at... Okay, I could be completely wrong, but I feel like this looks Japanese.
You are right.
Oh!
This is Japanese. We, again, have those...
guessing Japan. There we go. Sp4ghet, home country. Does he get the advantage?
On a location like this, I don't think there's any... No disrespect, but I don't think there's any Japanese player who is consistent enough to...
Wait, so you're telling me that when you get your home country, you cannot be assumed to make 5Ks all the time? Because I feel like everyone tells me that whenever it's Denmark, I have to 5K.
Yeah, I mean, especially Denmark and also Japan are just countries where it's... I don't want to say impossible, but at least you have some seasonal meta here again. It is winter, Gen 3. That rules down a lot of the regions, but...
There you go. Both of them in and around the right area. But still some damage done towards Sp4ghet. Losing in his home country. Feels bad, man, but I guess you're saying too, very limited what info he had to go by.
It feels bad, but as soon as you've played a couple of rounds of GeoGuessr, then you know how hard it is to region guess Japan in an NPC, especially an NPC.
America straight road. A quick lock in from Flyme. He wants to put some pressure on Kansas, Missouri border here.
like the Kansas guess. I was in Kansas immediately on this location.
What sent you there?
The type of pole, again the vegetation, and the slightly rolling hills, and it is middle of Kansas.
It was Kansas. A bit further towards the west. Flyme, west side of Kansas City, gets him the victory in that round as slowly Sp4ghet starts getting chunked away here. 2,300 health is what he has left to work with as we go into round number 6.
We do move over to another round where I wish I could see the pole, because that way I could maybe roll out something instead of just making a guess based on what I have here. Sandy Road. I just had a lean right in. Yeah, there is one, and I'm sure they can see it, but I am not sure I could see stuff like. I could see this being Argentina. I could see this being Australia. I can't really tell the sun here.
I mean, Flyme got Sp4ghet in Japan. Imagine if Sp4ghet gets Flyme in Argentina and wins the game because of it. It is 3.5 times multipliers. Is Sp4ghet hedging South America? What are we looking at here?
I'm happy I also see them going all over the place.
They're all over the place. But it is up there. Oh, wow. Big round for Flyme, and that's going to be GG. Out victorious 2-1 off of a massive, I don't want to call it a blunder, but a really tough loss in the second game in moving. It went into an NPC, but Flyme in the end stays true, comes out victorious.